What's up YouTube, Camo4J here with my first video, and today I'm going to be reviewing the SmackDown live draft, the show tonight, and talk about what's going to be coming for my channel. And in the background you're going to see a battleground match between Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. I will not be playing, I will just be talking over it. So here we go. And also, if you guys don't want to be spoiled on SmackDown, you probably watched the draft, but well, you're coming here for results, but exit out of this video now if you do not want to know the results of what happened. So first off, we got the show started with Stephanie and so the show started off with Stephanie and Shane coming out, making their picks. Started off with the first 5 picks. The first pick, Stephanie decided to take Rollins, following up by a Dean Ambrose pick for SmackDown. Both guys gambling on who's going to become the champion. Clearly, Stephanie and Mick thought Seth would come out on top. Charlotte gets drafted to Raw, women's champion early, first round pick. Next up, AJ Styles goes to SmackDown. Nice pick. I expect him to be the face of that company. Face of the brand. And next, this is really exciting. The Raw selected Finn Balor. So they start off with Seth Rollins, Charlotte, and Finn Balor. And Raw's going to start doing a cruiserweight division. So Finn Balor could, if they introduce a new cruiserweight championship, could be a guy. Very excited for him to come up. Next, we got a match between John Cena and Luke Gallows, and Enzo Cass in the club or at ringside, like AJ Styles and Carl Anderson. Pretty good match, and towards the end, John Cena hit the AA, defeated Luke Gallows. So it goes to commercial break, and we come back with the next draft picks. Raw, of course, they get the first pick in. They get 3 every time, so they have an advantage here. 3-hour show. Raw selects Roman Reigns. SmackDown selects John Cena. Raw picks Brock Lesnar. So here, Raw obviously has a good roster. And then SmackDown goes and selects Randy Orton. And Raw's last pick for the round, the New Day. So far, when you look at the differences, we got Seth, Charlotte, Balor, Roman, Brock, and the New Day. So 2 champs. Seth could be a future champ. I believe he will be a future champ on Raw. That is huge. Raw's clearly the good show. But you have guys like Dean, the champ. You have, he's a champ when they picked him at the end of the show. Things could change up. Got Styles, a future guy, just came in the company this year. I think he's like 38, upper 40s, but still, he can be the head of that SmackDown brand. Next up, we got John Cena and then Orton. John Cena and Orton, veteran guys, can put people over, can be in the main event scene on SmackDown. They can do anything. So Cena and Orton really will help out with getting guys over like Styles, Dean. Interesting. Hopefully they don't have like other championship matches between Orton and Cena. Those are really old, but yeah, that's how that's looking. So next up, we got Rusev and The Miz versus Young and Zack Ryder. It was champions versus challengers match. That's how they set it. So the match went off. It was a quick match, and in the end, Darren Young came towards the ringside, and he's talking to Bob Backlund, and he's like, crossface chicken wing. So he locks that in, and Darren Young tapped, makes them submit to the crossface chicken wing. So Darren Young and Zack Ryder defeat Rusev and The Miz during that match. Next up, we don't got picks after this. We got Xavier versus Bray Wyatt. It started, first couple minutes, Xavier was clearly intimidated, standing in the corner. Bray was coming up, doing his taunts, you know, like flipping over, acting like a spider, doing that. It looks like Xavier was hypnotized for a second, snapped out of it, threw some punches, but overall quick match. Bray Wyatt, Sister Abigail, and Xavier Woods falls to Bray Wyatt. Next up, It was a supposed match between Kane and Kevin Owens. I was wondering why Kane was fighting. But Sami Zayn runs down the stage, attacks Kevin Owens. Those guys fight, keep fighting, building up for Battleground. And they could have the last match at Battleground. We'll see. Depends if they're going to go. One of them could have gone to Raw, one to SmackDown. We'll see. Stay tuned. I will reveal that on the show. Right after that match, the picks, right when the guys are like still by the ring, and Kane did a double choke slam, so both guys are near the ring. Raw picked Sami Zayn. I was picking SmackDown picked Kevin Owens. Nope, they picked Bray Wyatt. That's another guy who could be eventual main eventer. Raw picked Sasha Banks. So now we got Sasha Banks and Charlotte on Raw. No Divas on SmackDown. Looking like Sasha Banks is going to be the future champ. We'll see. Raw, Mick Foley and Shane and Stephanie kind of taunt Shane and Daniel, saying like, you guys forget about the women and you're not picking them. So they pick Becky Lynch. So that's going to be one of the faces of the SmackDown Divas division. And after that, Raw picks Chris Jericho. Got it, like this pick out of like a little trash bag. Next we got Sasha Banks versus Charlotte and Dana Brooke. Still no partner for Battleground announced yet. What happened was match went really quick. She threw Dana into the corner of Charlotte, into their corner. She got a tag, and then Charlotte like fell down pretending she wasn't tagged. So the bank statement was locked in, and Charlotte ran in, kicked her, hit her finisher. Match was over. So and also this is Sasha's first pinfall on the main roster. That's really interesting. So clearly pretty good. Next we got picks. More picks. Rusev and Lana were selected to Raw. So far, we got the Divas champ, tag team champions, and Rusev, the US champ on Raw. On SmackDown, all we got is the United States champ. So Daniel Bryan says, you guys are going to make me do this. I got to get another championship on the show. I'm selecting the Miz and Maurice. So the champions are locked up. Early. I think this was like the 4th round. Next up, Raw picks Kevin Owens. So he's on the same show as Sami Zayn. That's interesting. And then SmackDown picks Baron Corbin. I find this interesting because they have no tag team. And they select Baron Corbin when people like Cesaro, other people on. I know Baron Corbin's young. Could be future talent. But next up, Raw picks Enzo and Cass. I would have liked to see those guys be the face of the SmackDown brand, because the Lucha Dragons and Wyatt split up. So 2 tag teams gone. Enzo and Cass. I don't know. They're trying to. I guess the tag titles are on Raw, so they're trying to make it look strong. The tag team division. Next up, we got Cesaro versus Chris Jericho. It ended. Jericho reverses springboard uppercut into code breaker, and that was highlighted that match. And then next we went to commercial, came back, and there was supposed to be a match with Natalya, but Becky Lynch ran in and came to attack him, and referees came down to separate him. Later in the show, Natalya's like, you're lucky I'm not pressing in an interview. After she got drafted, she says, I'm lucky I'm not going to press charges against Becky because that's an assault, and she's acting like is the victim. Next up, we got Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson to Raw. So the club, they could change this into the Balor Club with Finn Balor, since Finn Balor's on Raw. Styles will not have the club anymore. He's going to get a singles push. That's what I predict. Next, we got the second NXT pick with American Alpha to SmackDown. First tag team pick on SmackDown, I believe. Next up, Raw picks the Big Show. Kind of a throwaway pick. He's older. SmackDown goes with Dolph. And then Raw goes with Nia Jax. So, as you see from that round, the tag team division, 2 tag teams gone. 2 NXT picks in that round. So, interesting. Next up, we got Dean Ambrose versus Seth Rollins. No, next up we got go to commercial, and then we get picks. Raw picks Neville. We go Cruiserweight division on Raw. Neville. Finn Balor going to have some good matches. We got Natalya for SmackDown, enhancing the Divas division. Raw gets Cesaro, which that's a really late pick. And then we got SmackDown with Alberto, and Raw pick Sheamus. Alberto and Sheamus, those guys are kind of older. Cesaro, young talent. I think he puts on good matches every week. He should have been an earlier pick. So next we got Dean Ambrose versus Seth Rollins for the championship. Same thing as last night. Before the bell even rings, Seth attacks Dean from behind. So he gets an advantage going into commercial break. Lasts a couple minutes just attacking him. As soon as the match begins, Seth attacks Ambrose, beating him down, and it keeps going. So Rollins is taking control of the match. Unfortunately, my power went out, so I do not really remember what happened. I know that how Dean won. He did a suplex into the Red Arrow. And he did a suplex, the double pin happened last night. Went for the Red Arrow after that, and Dean got out of the Red Arrow, hit the Dirty Deeds. And even though Seth was dominating most of the match that I could see, and that was the first Dirty Deeds, I believe, it's over after that. So that's really interesting. And after that, the WWE went on to go. They went to the network for the next picks, and these were announced on the post-draft show. It was about an hour. I watched this also. This is why it's a little late. Usually my SmackDown stuff will be earlier. Starts off with Raw selecting Golden Truth. SmackDown goes with the Usos, so both getting some teams. Raw gets Titus before Apollo, no, and then SmackDown gets Demon Kane before Apollo Crews. That's really interesting. Apollo's a young talent. I would have liked to see him, but Kane, I don't know. And Raw finally gets Paige. Round 8, announced on the network. Raw selects Darren Young with Bob Backlund. What this shows me is that this match with Battleground, Darren Young will not win, because they're not going to bring the, they're not going to only have the WWE Championship, which I believe is going to go to Raw eventually. They're not going to have only that on SmackDown for now. They got to have a couple of championships. So Darren Young will not win at Battleground. SmackDown gets Kalisto. Raw gets Sin Cara. So, so they're split. SmackDown then gets Naomi. Raw gets Jack Swagger, and SmackDown gets the Ascension. These guys do superstars and main event matches. They haven't been on TV for a while, but maybe we will see them. Next up, we got round 9. The Dudleys going to Raw. Zack Ryder to SmackDown. Summer Rae to Raw. Apollo Crews to SmackDown. I think this is a late pick. Good pick. Mark Henry going to Raw. Older guy, put people over, I guess. Have a couple matches. SmackDown gets Alexa Bliss from NXT. I believe this is the 4th NXT pick. Round 10, Raw goes with Braun Strowman. SmackDown gets Breezango. So what shows me SmackDown's tag division is lacking compared to Raw. Raw picks Bo Dallas. The Social Outcast is split, which they weren't that good of a team anyway. SmackDown gets Eva Marie. Raw gets the Shining Stars, which is Epico and Primo, I think. And then SmackDown goes with the Vaudevillains. So I think SmackDown's their best team so far is the Usos. So they don't have a tag division at all. And then in round 11, the final picks were Alicia Fox to Raw, Eric Rowan to SmackDown. So Rowan and Wyatt are on SmackDown, while Braun Strowman will be on Raw. Dana Brooke goes to Raw with the next pick. That's the 2nd pick. And Dana Brooke will be with Charlotte, maybe an eventual turn. I don't know. I think Sasha Banks will take the title off of her. Next up, we got Mojo Rawley from NXT. There's 2 NXT picks in this round. In round 11, going to Raw. Curtis Axel. No, Mojo, excuse me, my bad. Mojo Rawley goes to SmackDown. Curtis Axel goes to Raw, so I believe Curtis and Bo are on Raw. And then Carmella goes to SmackDown. Heath Slater, some others were not drafted. But this is it from the results from this show. I will be making a predictions video on what will happen in Battleground. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, and see you guys in the next video.